So it's Thanksgiving 2016, and there's a lot of things for me to be thankful for, especially in the last 2 months, going through cancer and having an amazing family, and especially girlfriend Amanda and her 2 children helping me through the way, get through the initial steps here, dealing with cancer. But I've always said there's people out there that always have it worse than you, and one of my good friends that I've known, I don't know, since 2011, since I started Sniper Side and the 6x5 threads on there. You know, one of the first guys I ever post a 6x5 target, John Lester. He's always been a good friend of mine online, and you know, the guy's been going through his own battles. You know, it started out with a broken foot, ended up getting a blood clot, ended up in the ICU for 9 days. I believe he got a blood clot in his lung. End up with pleurisy, which I think is, you correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not a doctor, but I think it's an infection of the membrane that protects your lungs from your rib cage. But regardless, it makes it super difficult to breathe, and it makes it very painful. And I just want to let you know, John, and especially your amazing wife, Mary, that we're all thinking of you. There's not a night that goes by that we don't say a prayer for you and your family. And I want everyone else out there that's watching this video, especially if you're a rifleman and you've known John, to, you know, say a prayer for him and his family. And I will be doing that every single day till I know you're back out in that range shooting your rifles. And I got your back, buddy. So number 5's done. It's Monday the 14th. So that time around, I tried taking 2 Aleve rather than 1 oxycodone, and the Aleve didn't do anything for the pain. My right arm was just in pure pain, couldn't feel my thumb again. So I think tomorrow I'm just gonna have to make sure I eat and take an oxy about an hour before this treatment, because, and I tell you, by the tail end of that 45 to 60 minutes on that table, depending on how long it takes for them to set it up, man, my right arm is just in pure pain, and I can't even feel my thumb by the end. So it seems like it's getting worse as every treatment that goes by. But you know what, just suck it up. I don't move one bit because I want to make sure that that scan does not hit my spinal cord. But other than that, I think we just gotta stick with the oxy and making sure we take a lot of food beforehand. So. number 6. Hey Amanda, how do you feel about being spoiled this time?
This is great.
You guys are ridiculous.
She's gonna do a Papa Wheelie.
Good old Alfred's family. Push you around a little bit.
Yeah. We play bumper wheelchairs.
Look at that.
Bumper wheelchairs.
You guys are so funny. Too funny.
There are wheelie bars back here.
Wheelie bars.
Spoiled rotten.
Spoiled rotten.
Totally gonna beat you. Na 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 na. So how's it feel to finally be able to push me around for a change?
Swing.
You better-
That's the way it should be, right?
Better savor this moment.
I used to be able to push you around when you were little.
Yeah. Great. How much do you love me, honey?
I love you.
As much as I love you. Huh?
By far more.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I do.
Don't. Bro. Those are valuable.
I'll do something with them.
Let's see, I went to undergrad at Yale.
Pro convention. So if you need proton treatments at the Jacobson building, pay at the meters and park here on the corner of 2nd Avenue Northwest and 2nd Street Northwest. You can walk right into the Jacobson building. And it's currently a crow convention right now for some weird reason. Friday, my 9th treatment, -1 of the week. On our way home. Thank God. Pain in my shoulders getting so bad, especially at night if I lay down in a horizontal position that pretty much forced to sleep in a lazy boy now. Alright, so I think this is our 11th trip to Rochester. I could be wrong on that, but that would make 44 total hours of driving there and back. To make this ultra special though, we got little Savannah Banana with us.
Hi. Is my teeth purple?
They're a little purple. So are you excited?
Yeah.
What are you excited about?
To see all the machines you use for the treatment.
The proton treatment room
Yeah.
and the Hope Lodge probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you like road trips, don't you? Good.
Did you wait? There might be a pool there.
There might be a what?
A pool.
There might be. I don't know. Did you bring your swimsuit?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, good.
Mom told me.
Alright.
Wait. Is there? You know what happened in social studies a couple of days ago?
What?
We were looking at the United States map, and there was a Rochester, New York. I was like, oh my gosh, they're driving to New York. And then my teacher was like, no, they're probably driving to Minnesota.
There is a Rochester, New York. There actually is a Hope Center in Rochester, New York also.
Yeah, so that's why I thought that you that's why I thought you guys were driving all the way to New York.
That'd be quite the road trip, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd probably take a plane.
Take a plane. was number 10 done. Well, that was my 10th proton treatment, and my arm is on fire. My shoulder, my whole right arm is in pure pain. So, but they went and added an appointment on for today. And I'm just waiting on Amanda and Savannah. I guess they went outside for a little bit, so they're showing up here pretty soon. All right, so we got to run over to Charlton.
Okay.
Subway level. Desk
Where's
off.
that? Is that the big building?
Kinda.
Talk to you because tomorrow's your last treatment is very early.
Yep.
And I'm sure you're escaping, right?
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
And then you're coming back and surgery is on
30th.
the 30th, right?
Yep.
And I don't think I'm seeing you before then. So and so I want to get a chance to talk to you about my portion of the surgery.
Sure,
So
yeah.
that was like I was like, ah.
Yeah, I've talked to everyone else so far, so yeah.
Yeah. And so Courtney said she talked to you a little bit about it, but she said you'd probably need to go in more detail, and that's why we scheduled it, and then I just didn't bother to call you. I'm sorry about that.
No, that's fine.
So, okay. So I wanted to kind of pull up the pictures because sometimes the pictures help if I can get this to work. There we go. So they will go in and they will resect, obviously.
Yep.
Okay. And then usually when they're, close to being done or done, then I get called and to come out because it's out at St. Mary's. So I'm just going to try to pull up. And it's not a good set. Hold on. How about a better one? Yeah, this is better. So, I know this is hard to see, but you
Yeah.
can see the white is the tumor back here.
Yeah.
And then this is what's called, or the lining around is called the dura.
Yeah.
Okay, it protects the nerves and the spinal cord as it goes down from the brain.
Okay.
And then, of course, at each level, it gives off nerve roots. Okay.
Yeah.
And they probably talked to you about some of the nerve roots being
That's why
probably
my-
taken on that one side, right?
My
Yeah.
right arm hurts so bad.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Okay. So when they take it out, then this, instead of having that kind of push effect that you see there, can you see it's kind of
Yeah.
pushing in again? Because normally it's kind of
Yeah.
around or oblong like this. You push against it, you can see you can really deform it pretty well. So normally we would expect it to look more like this.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's clearly being pushed off to the side. Once they take the tumor out, it doesn't do that. It expands back out.
to normal.
Right. Yes, right. Think like a water balloon. You
Yeah.
push a water balloon, you let go, it comes back. But what we do, what they want to do is they want to take it off, and they think this is going to peel right off and not be sticky to it.
Okay.
That's the hope. And if it is sticky, they're going to try to take it off very carefully so as not to disrupt that system.
The dura.
The dura itself, because if you disrupt it, then you can have a leak of your CSF,
Yeah.
and that creates problems. If that happens, we will not do the P32.
Okay.
Okay, because we don't want anything to impair the healing of that. That's crucial. Okay, so let's presume they take it off. It comes off easily, but we worry about the fact that there may be some additional cells in that area where we can't give additional dose. Not, I should say, with externally, very safely, because of the spinal cord sitting right next to it, and it has a limit on how much you can give. So we have this plaque that's like a little tiny piece of plastic, and it's about just
Yeah.
like a little piece of Scotch tape.
Yep,
Yes.
cellophane thick.
Right,
yeah.
right. Only it's a little thicker than Scotch tape,
Yeah.
so it's like multiple layers of Scotch tape or a thick Scotch tape type thing, and it's pliable, and it allows us to kind of put it over that area and deliver a dose of radiation right in the operating room. Adds about maybe 10 minutes of extra time to the operation. No, not very long. We do it when we've got it exposed, got everything out, we can see it. And we literally put that plaque right in, not with our fingers, because that gives our radiation to our fingers, but we actually have a little applicator we put it on and put it right on that area. And
Are
yeah,
you the one that actually does that procedure?
so I help with it, okay? Usually it's the surgeons putting it directly
Okay.
on themselves, okay? The last one I helped with, a little bit more than some, so it just depends on the surgeons, that type of thing. But I worked with Dr. Rose, and Dr. Rose is extremely fastidious about anybody that's in the operating room and how things work. And that's really good. You really want that.
Right.
But What it means is I help prepare the plaque and get it ready, because we can't put the plaque directly on the dura, because if you were to kind of rub it like that, you would actually rub radioactivity right onto your hand. We don't want that to happen. We don't want it to be left residual on there. So we actually put it in a piece of plastic, a very, very thin plastic. So that's really more like a piece of Scotch tape on either side of it, so that when we're touching it or touching your body, it is not rubbing off radioactivity. It will still emit radioactivity right through that plastic, but it will not leave any residual. You see what I'm saying? And then we literally apply it right to that area. Sometimes we have a little applicator we use, and sometimes we just put it on directly with using like a pair of pickups to kind of grab the edges of it. This is actually a pretty good analogy.
Like this is it.
Yeah, and then we can put it there, and then we kind of put like a piece of gauze over top of it, and we say, okay, as soon as we put it on, we say, okay, count, and they've got their stopwatch, and then when they get to 9 minutes 35 seconds or whatever it is, then we take it off, and then we leave the room. I should say, first thing we do is survey, make sure there's no residual, and then we pick up all the paraphernalia that we have and leave the room, because we're taking all that radioactivity with us and not leaving it even in the operating room.
Exactly.
Okay? It allows us to give that extra dose that we couldn't give safely with external radiation, no matter how precise we are. And part of the reason why is this literally goes, we prescribe it to 1 millimeter. 1 millimeter. So most of the dose is actually on the surface. At 1 millimeter, there's a little bit less dose, but that's where we prescribe to, and then the fall off is just very, very rapid.
It just very little goes in the dura, just a little bit.
Right, right. Essentially, it's really treating the thickness of the dura. And that's really all we need to treat. Okay? So that's what we're going to do. And again, if we get into the dura, if we get a leak or something like that, we're not going to do it. But we have it all purchased and ready to go. I don't know, we've purchased it. I don't know if it's arrived yet because it's next week. But Dr. Rose and I sit down and we actually physically figure out the size that we want to use. Because each one is ordered individually, just for you. Okay. And so that's my part of the procedure. Like I said, for the whole time I'm there, it might take half hour, 45 minutes. Like I said, above that, about 10 minutes is the actual radiation exposure. Okay.
Have they finished that 3D model yet? Have you seen that yet?
I have not, but you know what? Dr. Rose will be the first one to see it.
Okay. All right. I'm just curious. So.
Yeah.
So these treatments that I'm doing, how close does it get to the dura itself that I'm doing right now?
Well, right now we're treating more of it. Okay.
Yeah, just the bulk
yes,
of it.
Right. Yes. Right. Because, and so there is some that's getting to the spinal cord, but we're saying we want less to go to the spinal cord, so we actually control how much we're getting. I've tried pulling up plans on this on the computers in the patient's room, but I can't do it.
Okay, that's fine.
There's some license issue or
I
something.
hear you, that's fine.
So we're so the dose that's received right now is a tolerable dose, and what we don't want to give is more.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yep. That makes total sense. Okay.
So your arm is doing okay?
My right arm hurts.
About the same? Or worse?
Well, it's weird because, like, you know what? When I found out about this whole ordeal, then I quit work. Second I quit work, all the pain went away.
Right,
But I still had the tingling in my feet, right?
Yeah.
And then about 2 weeks after I talked to you the first time, all the tingling went completely away at my feet. So I have no tingling at all at my feet. But all the pain went right back in my right arm.
Okay.
So I'm no doctor, but I guess the way I'm thinking is maybe all this radiation is like killing off all the the blood veins in the tumor, so maybe it's getting harder.
Well, and it also could be...
And it's pressing harder on the nerve, maybe?
It could be that you can have some inflammation from the radiation, and that inflammation could be putting a little bit more pressure on the nerves.
That's what I'm thinking, yeah. So at night it's like excruciating.
So what are you doing for pain? Do you have it under control?
So I've been taking oxycodone, and that didn't really help. So they gave me, what was it?
Gabapentin.
Okay.
Yeah. And the GABA, it seems like it worked pretty good. Man, it makes me so tired. It just knocks me right out. So I'm like, it's kind of like I take a couple oxy before I go lay down on that flat bed, because by the time I'm done with that radiation, sometimes I can't feel my right hand. Yeah. And so... Okay. And then at night, I take the GABA so I can go to sleep. So I've been kind of doing that. So.
Okay, but then you take that at like 10, but then he's waking up at 1, 2, and he's just in pain again.
Oh, and then I have to take another one,
and then another one. It's like,
man, it is straight up like.
So next week can't come soon enough.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, okay. So
well,
and so anyway, so another question I have too is, after because you know, sounds like they're Rose and Kraus, and then they're going to have the plastic surgeon there moving a muscle to this void.
Yeah.
And then they got the last 11 treatments.
Right.
Is that like a lower dose? I mean, is that
Yeah,
like
total amount will be lower. That's correct.
Okay, because
And it will be more focused. Right now we're treating a bigger volume, and when we're done, we're going to treat, you know, kind of really more
precisely around.
more precisely around. It'll be a
Okay.
smaller volume.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be
Yeah.
a smaller volume. And I will use data from the surgery to help me design
Okay.
where that's going to be.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. Because I was like, you're putting all this fresh new like transplanted muscle there. Are you
Right.
gonna like damage all that again?
Right.
That was my
Not
concern.
with 11 treatments.
Yeah, so-
yeah, you're right. The plastic surgeons would have our heads if we did that.
Yeah. So, so anyway.
So the good news is they're going to take out most of the stuff that has been irradiated already, and they're going to bring in fresh stuff, and a little bit of radiation will follow, but not a lot.
So how does this work then? Do like so many days before the surgery, do you, Rose, Kraus, and the plastic surgeon sit down and like just?
No.
How does that work?
So here's how it works: is Dr. Rose is your primary surgeon,
Yeah.
I think, at this point?
Actually,
or is it Dr.
Kraus,
Kraus?
yeah.
Okay. Oh, really?
You know,
Okay, I thought it was Rose, but whatever. So those two are the key
Yeah.
players, okay? And Rose has already talked to me. So I could talk to Kraus, but Kraus knows because Rose has talked to him about what our part is going to do, and they've talked to the plastic surgeon. So we kind of independently talk. So I haven't talked to the plastic surgeon, but I'm not worried about that
Okay.
in the scheme of things.
because I brought like all this up with a plastic surgeon. He's like, I don't even know what you're talking about.
About the P32.
Well, about the whole plaque radiation thing.
Right.
Yeah,
They would, right,
yeah.
and that's because
Yeah.
they're not involved in that part of
Okay.
it at all.
Yeah.
All right.
So by the time I've left the room, they
Yeah.
might not even be in the room yet.
Okay.
Okay,
All
or
right.
they may be just coming in the room,
Okay.
and that's okay.
Okay.
It
All
doesn't
right.
matter.
I just want to make
Yeah,
sure.
as long as the key players, which
Yeah.
is the Kraus Rose team,
Yeah.
know what's going on, then
Right.
and they're the ones. So we are, you know, right now I'm your primary care doctor because I'm taking care of you during
Yeah.
the proton beam. When you do the surgery, I'm like a secondary person.
Okay.
Okay.
So that makes
So
sense.
so as long as those two are talking and coordinating everybody else into the picture,
Yeah.
then it's okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. So yeah.
So probably what'll happen is that day during the course of the surgery, when they get to a point, they will call and, well, even beforehand, they'll have already talked to the plastic surgeon because it'll be important for prepping,
Mm-hmm.
meaning they'll have to make sure they've cleaned all the areas that he might use to help close,
Yeah.
you know, with betadine and all that, whatever, you
Mm-hmm.
know, scrub they're going to use to clean. And then sometimes during the actual procedure, they'll call the plastic surgeon to come in and look so they can see what's going on and
Mm-hmm.
know what they're going to have to be dealing. And it gives them time to think about it a little bit too.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because even though the plastic surgeon already has a thought process going on, they don't know 100% till they get there.
Yeah.
Whereas I have a pretty good idea, and even I don't know 100%, but I have some idea based on how we've done cases before. You know,
Okay.
like I said, if he has a leak, then he'll call me and say we're not doing it, and then we're done. It's
Yeah.
not a problem. But you know, we get in there and we say, okay, let's look at it and let's see what we're going to do, and are we going to use this? Are we going to do that? You know, how are we going to place
Yeah.
it? And we knew we have different tools for different situations, and we kind of, depending on how things
Yeah.
look. So
Okay.
I'm not worried because most of the cases that we've done have been done with Dr. Rose.
Yeah.
So he is the most experienced with this with me.
Yeah.
So he and I've done most of them. There's only like 2 cases or 3 cases that I haven't done of our entire institutional experience. So
Mhm.
and one of them was my patient. I just happened to be away and I couldn't. I was on vacation that was planned like 9 months ahead of time, so it was the only day Dr. Rose could operate.
Sure.
So one of my colleagues filled in for me that day.
Okay.
But other than that, almost all the patients are mine. So I have a pretty good idea how it's going to go.
Okay.
But every time you go in, you look and see, and you
That's
say,
all.
okay,
Yeah. You just don't know until you get in there, right?
right.
Yeah.
But you have you have kind of a thought process of
Yeah.
what you're going to do, and you say, okay, if this, then this, if this, then this, you know,
Mhm.
type of thing. And same thing
Yeah.
with surgeons do when they
Yeah.
get in there. They have already a game plan in their mind.
Yeah, especially with that 3D model.
Exactly. They look at
Yeah.
the 3D model and they sit down and they say, okay, we're going to try this. We're going to go here first, here second, here third, you know,
Mhm.
and what happens here, and you know, and they'll. Yeah, the 3D models really have made
Yeah.
some interesting
Yeah.
new. I think it's helpful for the surgeons in
Yeah.
terms of their planning.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Good.
So I hope I get to
Yeah.
see it. I'll have to
Yeah.
talk to Dr. Rose about it because I think he's the one that ordered it.
Yeah.
And if I get to see it, that'd be great because then I can come and look at it in
Yeah.
relation to what I think I want to do,
Mhm.
which will be the first time I've had that opportunity.
Yeah.
He's done plastic models for a while.
Yeah. He showed me one that he did for someone else.
Someone else, yeah.
Yeah. It was kind of interesting.
They are
So,
really interesting,
yeah.
aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really been a new addition to the surgery
Yeah.
world, which has been helpful.
Yeah. So is the plaque done already?
The plaque is already ordered. We ordered from someplace in New York State, or there's only one place that makes it, and then it'll probably come next. Maybe it's going to be here this week. It should be here this week because we get it a week ahead of time, and then we do some quality assurance on it to be sure that it's the activity we know it is.
Yeah.
So they come with this is what the prescription is, and this is the size. So they measure it, make sure they send us the right size because. One of the last patients, they sent the wrong size.
Oh.
We had to order a new one, and they fortunately could get it in time.
Yeah.
Because it was,
Otherwise, you have to push everything off.
well, that's not that easy to do with
Yeah.
this many surgeons.
Yeah.
So we were fortunate they were able to get us the new plaque in time.
Wow.
And then we do a measurement of it and everything to know that the activity is what we ordered.
A lot of staging.
Yep, a lot of prep work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
Wow. All right.
Okay.
Okay. I don't have any other questions. Do you?
So you're
No,
going home and
no.
having a big Thanksgiving
Yeah,
dinner?
yeah,
Good for you.
yeah.
I'm so glad.
Yes.
So-
I'm glad it worked out that way for you.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think it'll give me a little bit of time to heal.
Yep. And maybe some
Are,
of the
are you
information-
supposed to have a little time to heal between doing your last proton treatment until when they do
Often
surgery?
we do, and it varies depending on how much we're giving and
Yeah.
what's going on, how long it is. You know, I like to see at least. Dr. Rose likes to see at least a couple of days, but often when we're giving a higher dose like this, I like to see a little bit longer time period
Okay.
because it gives a little bit more of again that reactivity
Yeah.
to calm down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
So on the first 11 that tomorrow will be my 11th.
Mhm.
Were they stepping up the radiation?
No, it's the same amount every day.
It was the same. Okay.
It
Okay.
might feel like it's more, but it's because it's a cumulative effect.
Yeah. But yeah, otherwise I feel pretty good. I get a little tired once in a while, and other than the pain in the right arm. But other than that, I feel pretty good. Yeah.
Good.
So, yeah. What's nice is the tingling's gone on my feet. That was driving me the most crazy. And
For
that,
walking around. and
oh
everything.
yeah, it was terrible. So
Okay.
yeah.
Good deal.
So okay.
Thanks for coming back
Yeah.
over.
All right. Well, we were unable to stay in the Hope Lodge, but we got this amazing room for free, didn't we?
Yes.
So it kind of worked out good for in the long run, didn't it? So what do we got to bless for that?
Me.
Really? And who else?
Me.
And God,
Oh.
right?
There was hot chocolate at the what's it called, Jacobson.
The Jacobson building. You had some hot chocolate, right? That was good. They had actually a lot of chips and free stuff there, didn't they? So
They're
what?
cookies. I have the cookies.
So when they let you into the treatment room, what did you think of the treatment room? Kind of crazy.
Why they had music playing in there?
Kind of drowns out the sound of the gantry and the table.
Yeah, it was cool though. Like the machine
Mhm.
is huge.
It's huge, isn't it?
Yeah. It's
So,
like really.
what music would you listen to?
My favorite singer. Probably. See, they had these things. There's like 2 cookies though,
You took
and I
one.
took 2 of them.
That's good.
They said only take 1, but I took 2.
So what else was interesting about the proton room?
The doctors or like the people that were working it, they were really young.
Yeah, they're really young, weren't they? They're just kind of like operating the
They're like
machinery.
babies.
like, like babies. What else? Kind of the different colors they had. You
Yeah.
walked down the hallway. That's kind of neat, huh?
And you were looking for places to sleep in there.
I was looking for places to sleep.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because we weren't sure if we were going to have a hotel room to stay at.
So you were like, oh, that looks comfortable. That looks comfortable.
But see, God's on our side. We got this amazing hotel room for free.
At least we didn't have to sleep in there.
Yeah, we didn't even have to pay for this place. So that's
Yeah,
good.
they gave it to us for free.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't know why. I think it was because like the whole lodge concept.
Yeah, Hope Lodge was helping us out, so that was good. So it worked out for the best, didn't it? All right, high five, little lady. Love you.
Yeah, me too.
All right. All right, so I'm on the 10th of 11th treatments before my surgery, and the pain in my right shoulder is ungodly bad. I mean, it's beyond like the worst it's ever been in my entire life, and I took two of
gabapentin and we got my shoulder on ice, but man, the pain is ungodly bad. I mean, it's straight up like knife blade in my shoulder, and I'm fighting away here, and hopefully it gets better in the morning. And we got one more treatment, and then we got Thanksgiving, so hopefully things get better and these pain pills kick in, but I can't express in words how bad the pain is right now. And hopefully this ice and these pain pills kick in here soon, because I don't know, maybe this tumor is dying and it's becoming rock hard, but it's pinching on that nerve going down my right arm, and that the pain is beyond painful. I can't express in words. And it's about 5:30. Got to sleep about 1 o'clock last night. I gotta admit, after my 10th round of proton treatment last night, it was okay right after the treatment, but by the time I got back to the hotel, man, that was hands down the most pain I've ever been in. I mean, it straight up felt like someone was ripping my arm off. And I'm not exaggerating, it was pure pain. But I feel much better this morning. But got another round of proton treatment here in a little bit at 7 a.m. and then head back home, which hopefully I can just sleep in the car on the way back. But yeah, bright and early, and still kicking. But man, I'm not gonna lie, that was pure pain last night that I've never experienced before. So, but still fighting, never gonna give up.
Well, it's almost 7 a.m. back at the Jacobson building for my last 11th proton treatment before surgery. And last night was insane. I mean, and I'm not exaggerating, it felt like my arm was straight up getting ripped off, like someone was taking a hacksaw to it. No matter what I did, I couldn't get rid of the pain. Ice, took drugs. I mean, it was the most amount of pain I've ever been in. Even with my appendicitis, that was a lot of pain, but this was by far worse. I mean, that nerve that comes out of my C6 and C7 vertebrae must have been getting pinched so bad by that tumor that it straight up felt like someone was taking a saw to my right arm. But I got my last treatment here at 7 a.m. So it's 7:30 and my last treatment, the 11th one, and apparently some Hitachi power supply is not working on the proton treatment radiation gun thing. So they got us waiting for a couple hours here now while they fix this proton radiation treatment machine. So we're just waiting now. So who knows how long that will be. It's not like you can just pick up a Hitachi power supply thing for a proton treatment radiation gun at Lowe's. Just gotta laugh after a period of time. So yeah, it's just keep on waiting.
Unbelievable.
Oh, I just can't win sometimes, can
Oh my God.
you? Just want to get this over with, and you can't.
Unbelievable.
I know, but whatever.
I'll just let you know the proton beam's broken.
Yeah, and we're just gonna run down the Lowe's and pick up a power supply for it. Holy cow, I just want to get this over with so we can go home. Wow. What should we do?
I don't know.
Maybe take a nap. Apparently they're waiting to fix the flux capacitor on the proton machine, so they're waiting for Doc from Back to the Future to show up. So just kind of chilling here. I figured you can't complain about waiting 2 hours for a technology that it last 2 years. So it save your life. Eleventh one done. Thank God. Next is surgery. Oh man, that one took forever. Like 10 minutes between waiting for the beam to show up, so it took forever. All right, let's go home. Thank God. Right?
Mm-hmm.
What did you guys do?
Went to TJ Maxx and what's it called?